Roger Barnes.
Salute.
Hey.
Yo, what's time? I'm on the rise, yo, we love to get the money. This a podcast, you can catch us being funny. Yeah, from 7 to 9, we video live. So stop everything, this is serious vibe. Catch us on the Wednesday, it's Liddy on the hump day. Listen in your car, got the Beamer or the Hyundai. Facebook Live, we live in direct. You can call or kick it with us, it's 3-star respect. Yo, a lot of topics, we always got it poppin'. You know we neighborhood, we always pick the knowledge. Yeah, that's the stealer, we do it for the people. Flyer than the ego, we ordinary people. We be kicking in cause you know we living in. Come and catch a vibe cause it's live, come and witness it. We down for each other no matter the weather. It's the beat 139 cause how we stick together. What's up?
What up?
Yo.
What it do?
Yeah, what up?
Welcome to the Beat 139. I'm Doc.
Don Vito. So this is our second guest, really. We had a cipher, you know, right after the first guest was kind of fly. So I think me, Doc, Cash, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna poly on that and get this Beat 139 cipher for the summer. You know, we want y'all viewers to listen, so we're gonna do it like once a month, start it off. You know, we need 4 hot MCs, male or female. Hit us on the beat139@gmail.com or hit us on the beat139_ Harlem and hit us on the DM and you know, let us hear it. Send us a track or something, let us hear you rhyming or something like that. But without further ado, you know, this brother right here, well respected in the music industry, in the streets, wherever, you know what I'm saying? My man Roger Barnes. Welcome to the show, bro. Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. How's the summer going on so far, bro?
Summer's a bless, man.
It's gonna vibe with you, man.
Being alive is blessed.
Yeah, it
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, we all got problems that we go through, so, but the summertime, I'm looking at, truthfully, I haven't been to New York in a year.
Okay.
And when I came here today, man, I went to the Spanish bodega on the
Oh, you just got in?
Yeah, I just
Get
got in.
that feeling.
I went to Mr. Softies. My man talking to me now about the Jamaican spots. I'm waiting to get from here. So New York ain't got that vibe. I'm glad everybody back outside.
Yeah, it's good, man.
It's always good to come back to the city.
Yeah, for about a week or two.
Yeah, then slide back
I
out.
got to slide back out.
Yeah, right?
Too crowded.
Yeah, it's
Too
crowded.
crowded.
Yeah, it is crowded.
Yo, so tell everybody where you from, man, you know, stuff like that. Let's go there.
I'm originally from Polo Ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from 149th. I'm from Harlem, man.
Right.
I done lived in Taft Projects. I done lived in Esplanade. I done lived in Dunbar.
Mm-hmm.
I done lived everywhere. So I'm from Harlem.
So I like, go ahead.
I mean, so you from Harlem, so you can relate to a lot of the Harlem stories.
Oh, I am a Harlem star.
There it is, this. That's what I'm talking about. So tell me how life was growing up in the Polo Grounds. Back in the day, the Polo Grounds was the shit. You know what I'm saying? They had the flyest bras. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, one of the areas that had the flyest bras, like Esplanade, you know that. And had the Rucker across the street when the Rucker was the real Rucker.
Yeah.
When you seen like Dr. J and Tiny Nate and all these dudes playing in the Rucker.
Yeah.
Before the in the league, you know, the Rucker League and all that. Tell them how life was growing up, man, in that era.
It was crazy, man. I say that now, like, if you go to Rucker right now, stand in the middle of Rucker, turn around, that building right there is 2937.
Mm-hmm.
That's the building I grew up in.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, growing up in Polo Ground, I stayed on punishment so much, right? My parents didn't even punish me by weeks, they punished me by months. Right? So I used to sit in my window and just watch the Rucker.
Yeah.
But I was on punishment, so I lived on the 20th floor.
Right.
If you go there to this day, man, you're gonna see my initials. When you look up, and you look up to the 24th, you're gonna see 2 big R's up there to this day. And I wrote, because I was on punishment so much, that I took the, you know how we used to do our pro kids, and we washed it, and then we took the white marker. Yeah, I used to have the white marker. I sat upside down and wrote 2 R's on it. And they done redid the building and the bricks, you know how some is like, nobody touched them 2 R's.
Wow.
And they be asking me stuff, I
That's
said,
crazy.
I'm right there, yo.
Yeah.
I'm there for life.
That's
You
crazy.
had a good view of the game.
I had
Yeah.
a great view of the game. I was out there when Joe Hammond hit 74. I was right in the window.
Joe's a
Like
beast.
I was there. Joe was a
Joe,
beast.
Chris,
You know
Joe,
what I'm saying?
Joe.
But it was something, man. It was like, man, it was something you've never seen, man. Like people standing up on the gates,
Yes.
people on top of schools,
Yeah.
people just hanging all over anything,
Everywhere.
tree branches,
Everything.
anything.
crazy.
I used to be up on the gate.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So I remember that. You ain't lying about that. Nigga had to see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Attitude.
Because you don't see, you be in the back and it's so many people and you hear, ooh! Yeah, all the time. Ooh! Because somebody did something crazy, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna I gotta see this right here, man.
And ain't no replay.
Nah, ain't no replay, man. There ain't no replay in that motherfucker.
And you gonna hear somebody on the mic, you gonna hear Booby Smooth, you gonna hear somebody. I don't know who was doing it back then, because I was young.
Duke and, well, before then, I forgot who it was, but Duke and them did it like 80, roughly up to 86. I was in the 39th. It was 87 that went up there, because 39th was 85, 86, 39.
Okay.
Then it went to 55th. But they always had Rucker way back then.
Yeah.
Rucker been crazy.
Rucker was in, but like no matter where you went, whether you was from Brooklyn, whether you was from Queens, you came to Rucker and showed it.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
You know, we talk about, we going back to Walter Berry and
Yeah,
Jack
Walter
Berry.
Richie Adams and all that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But you was at the cookout the other day, you seen it?
He what?
He's at the cookout. He's right
I
next to
think
you,
I did
fighting
see
him. Nobody's on the bike.
Oh, okay.
He's right next to you when I, yeah.
Yeah, Rucker was there, you heard the stories, man. You seen the Harlem Cats coming up there. You seen dudes that was making so much money that they actually turned the clothes down.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
You hear the stories, then you see them go up there, and it's crazy because you actually see them come up there with their bodyguards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then now the next 5 minutes they playing the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Go in and change in the back of the park in a little tent and come back and ball. A lot of dudes are coming from like Queens, California, Jersey, all over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody went for the
everybody's all over there.
It was all over
They had
there.
to be.
Yeah, Bronx crazy.
Same thing with the rooftop.
Yeah, same
You know what I'm
thing.
saying?
rooftops.
It wasn't just Harlem and that rooftop.
Yeah.
Everybody came
Rooftops.
to that rooftop.
Everybody came to
That top was crazy.
So that's what Polo Ground. Polo Ground was. Polo Ground was that. It was the Rucker.
And
The
the top.
rooftop,
rooftop.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
And that little Italian restaurant over there.
oh yeah, at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
That's going now.
Going towards Yankee Stadium and all that.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that.
Yeah, me too. That was there for a long time too.
That was the real gangsters.
Real gangsters in that, that's what I'm
Real
saying.
gangsters.
Came in there, you was respectful in that joint. You wasn't doing all that riffraff in there. That's some good ass food too. So growing up as a kid, you know, the punishment and all that. So I mean, then you moved in what? Where you went to after that?
Nah, I was there for a while. I was originally in Johnson.
Okay.
Right? I left Johnson with the tab. And I was shipped around a little bit because I was a bad kid, so I stayed with my grandmother, my mother, my aunt. So I was a little bit of everywhere. So when I left here, I went to Esplanade.
Okay.
And I went to Dunbar. Then from Dunbar, I went to Esplanade. And I stayed in Esplanade until I went to Lennox Terrace. And then I left Lennox Terrace, and that's when I locked up.
You live in all the flyest buildings in Harlem, man.
I
Polo Grounds is clean back then.
Yeah.
Lennox Terrace is fly. And Esplanade had a pool and all.
Yeah,
Esplanade, I ain't want to go. They put me out. You know, I had the least strict on Esplanade. And they started tracking everybody down. And I tried to fight them because I swear to God, I was paying $900 a month for a 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
two bathroom. You know what I'm saying? For a $50 parking space downstairs.
50,
You know what I'm saying? With security and everything.
Imagine.
What?
You be that dude. 3-bedroom.
Real walls. Not the walls you got now. We talking real walls.
An official complex. So if you bring a chick there.
But think about it though. Check this part though. If that to my knowledge, that was the only building that had a pool.
It still is.
Right.
I still got pool there.
I'm not know what I'm saying. They was the only building that had a pool.
But Esplanade,
In
Esplanade is not a project.
I said the only building. I said projects only building.
No, I know, yeah.
Building projects. Far from
Yeah, some
projects.
other places.
People own them joints.
And they had the pool party.
Yeah,
they
they
did.
still have
That's what I'm talking
it.
about.
They had it not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
I went the year before.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But see, when I grew up at 49th Street, we kind of looked at the people in Esplanade
That's uppity.
as uppity.
Yeah, that's how we looked at them.
Yeah.
I'm from 39th,
Yeah.
and we looked at them like, yeah, uppity.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
how we felt.
They had a little pool dog.
That's why I said the building. I didn't say project. That was uppity, man.
Yeah, that's uppity.
Yeah, that was uppity, man.
That was, you know, y'all don't want no problems.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we was looking for problems with them back then. You know what I'm saying? Until I moved over there, and I'm gonna be honest, it was some real cats in there, man. Like when you do your homework, you like, yo, you never ask me out. You never ask me out.
But man, Hanks, it was different. Somebody lived, but they hang with dudes in other places.
Right.
Then you had the dudes that hung in there, like Espinal. Then you had dudes
And then Espinal is still nice to this
yeah,
day.
it's still nice. They kept that good.
What?
Because
You
a lot
gotta think about it though too. It's still nice to the day because the people that we talking about right now, they parents still in it. They ain't
their
leaving.
parents still.
They ain't leaving, man.
Yeah, like you said, 9 3. That's just crazy. They ain't leaving that. Then, like I said, they upkept it. Just like they didn't keep rip-off towers in the Bronx. That used to be nice.
No pool.
That shit,
No.
pool, it
No
was
pool.
all the girls
All
there,
the
that
in
thing
the
was
world.
crazy.
Yeah, that was it.
We used to come all up
And
there.
go over there, yeah.
Now that joint is
They're
trap house.
twisted.
It's
Yeah.
twisted.
Yeah, you going
That
next
is
problem.
so Esplanade did keep their
See, but Espinal is a co-op.
co-op.
Yes, it
You know what I'm
is.
saying? So
Yes.
it's like a Michelama.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? You buy into it, you know the stock thing.
Yeah.
But to me, truthfully, it's really about that security helps them a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that the people there, I mean, when you growing up, you don't like them, but then when you get older, you always got that. Yo, what you doing? Pick up that paper,
Yeah.
That's what Esplanade is for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People that mind other people's business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the apartment lot, they did me and somebody, hey, what you hanging around here for? Yeah. You know, so, you know, now, I'm like, damn, can I get back in? You know, they ain't having that right now.
So, man,
So
That's your
you went to Lennox Terrace, and then you got locked up.
Yeah, I was in Lennox, I was at 45. I was right behind McDonald's, right there on 36.
Yeah, I knew 45. What's his name lived in that building, right? Willis Reed, right? I know he lived in one of the buildings.
Who?
Willis Reed. He's played for the
I'm not-
Knicks. I used to see him all the time.
You know who moved in my apartment?
Charles Rangel lived in there too.
Nah, the senator, the dude that was blind. David Patterson.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he moved in my
Light-skinned
apartment
dude,
when I
yeah,
moved out, yo. I was like, word, he was like, yeah, the senator in the joint. I was like, wow.
So you got locked up. How long you got locked up for?
This particular time, I was locked up for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This was 1987, and this went into from 87 to 92. That was when Cuomo was in office.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I actually had a real violent crime, and I was so glad that Cuomo was in office, man. Because if you remember back then, Cuomo was giving work release and everything for violent crime. So I ended up, you know, Cuomo was my man. He ended up
Working with Edgecombe.
I went to Edgecombe. You know how long I was at Edgecombe? I broke the record. I was at Edgecombe for 6 years.
Damn.
So I said, what the fuck? I know. I said,
I was in there too, man. That's why I said Edgecombe.
I was at Edgecombe from 1990 to 1995.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you went in, you got work release right away.
No. I got hit at the parole board with 2 years, twice, in work release. Like I'm home 5 days. I'm only going in 2 days. So what you gonna hit me for?
Right.
They hit me for the nature of the crime. Okay, but I'm on work release. Then I went back to the board and they hit me with 2 more years. So I'm gonna be real with you. I was kind of glad at the end of it because you get to hold all that money.
Yeah.
They hold all that money.
They hold your money.
Yeah, but I'm home 5 days, so you know I'm moving and shaking. So really in my mind, I'm saying, okay, I got a job. I can take this money and do what I want to do with it because work release gonna keep this money.
Right.
So when I left work release, I felt fat after
Yeah, people's coming home with bags from work.
You ain't gotta pay for it. Now they changed it. Now they making you pay for room and board if you stay in work release. See, back in those times, it wasn't like that. You ain't pay no fines, no parole, you ain't do none of that. Now they want to know whatever percentage of the check you get. They want to take a percentage and everything. You know, everything is a hustle. So I left there, so I left Lennox Terrace, went to jail, came home, and then that's when I went into Esplanade. And then that's when I felt like, okay, I'm moving on up now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Esplanade was cool. I loved Esplanade. And then I stayed into Esplanade until, you know, Harlem went under Reconstruction. So, you know, they came up with all the new buildings and all that other stuff. So I moved into a new building on 146th Street.
Okay.
I was there all the way until my family.
Yeah, a lot of reconstruction. So how many bids you did all together?
Two.
So you did your Fed bid 95?
Yeah, I did
How
the
lo-
state bid,
How long you did on the Fed bid?
2000, 95 to 2000.
Okay.
So that was another 5, and then I did the work days. So altogether it adds up to 15 altogether.
Yeah. And so when you got into the music?
When I came home from the feds in 2000, you know how it is back then, it was more or less your reputation took you from one place to another. It wasn't really the type of security that they have now. So it was more or less, it was the type of thing where it was like, yo, do you want to go back to the streets? Or do you want to keep rocking? Puff was kind of, he was with us back then, you know, back in the days, but it was really about D. Ferg and everybody else at that time. So when I came home, my man Nicky came home also, he did 15 years, and they had snatched him up. And I used to always take him down there and drop him off. And he was like, yo, who homeboy that always drop you off, man? I be seeing him around, yada yada. And then, you know, the introduction comes, you know, you come down there, you know, they watch you for a little while. And one thing I think Jay-Z and R. Kelly got into a situation at Madison Square Garden. And I happened to be there. And we ran backstage, and the way I handled the situation, you know, Jay and Puff was like, damn, homie, who homie? They said, yo, he just came home, yada yada. And then it was just, that was the end of it for me. You want to go out of town? But I got tried one time, like.
Well, you said somebody said, do you want to go out of town?
Yeah.
Who?
Actually, Puff asked me.
Puff?
That.
Okay.
He was like, yo, what you want to do, man? You want to go out of town with me? So, you know, I was a little bit, you know, because I just came home and my thing was like, I'm not working for nobody. Like, I'm getting ready to hit the streets and get off running. But the question was really asked to me, like, yo, what you want to do? They waiting for you uptown. Or you could just come on and rock with us. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I'm tired of that jail shit. Really. Because all we say is, yo, we want the opportunity. Okay, the opportunity is here now.
Right.
So I could get on some ego shit and say, yo, what the fuck, nah, I don't want. Or I can say, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm watching shit. So I see the way a person is talking to people, and I'm like, nah, man, they ain't gonna be talking to me like that. So when the opportunity came there, I had to revert back to the way I seen him talk to people that was already working for him.
Right.
And I was saying, can I take that? But then, you know, as crazy as it be, it was a situation that happened uptown, and I found myself in the same situation I was before I went to jail. You know, my man Uncle Paul, you know, I said, yo, I want to make that move, and I never turned back. And that was 20 years ago.
And so when you went with Puff, what type of business y'all was doing?
Well, I actually, when I first started with him, I was driving. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, situations happen, little different stuff. And then it comes to, yo, come on. Yo, let's go. So back in those days, it was more or less how many people you knew, which unfortunately I knew everybody because I was doing them bids. So the people was having problems with, when they see me, oh, well, nah, you were Barnes, yo, how you know me? Hold this away with me. So then now you make yourself available and you make yourself inexpendable. So when those type of things happen, then you go out of town and look, I was in the feds. You in the feds, you and anybody everywhere. So the same thing is happening when we hit Chicago, when we hit Miami. There's always somebody that you could call. Now, you know that? Oh, nah, me and him was in such. You know, so those type of things start happening. But at the same time, I start watching. Cause see, I wanted to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of dudes that say security and they want to be like, yo, I'm in the building. But when you do like that, you get the tap. The tap is, yo, wait for me outside. We don't need that. So I start just, quiet. So if they don't notice you in there, they're going to keep talking and they're going to keep talking. And I was just sucking it up. And then I left there, and what I did was I sucked it up to the point where I knew how to have a conversation. So I started having a Ciroc conversation. And I said, yo, we do this the same way that we do the streets. Because see, you got a big brand with GPIs, but they don't understand the footwork of marketing. They just understand money. But you gotta have. But if we trying to reach us, nah, I want to see my man drinking that. I want to see. So I took the same ideology And Puff just said, look, they don't understand what you said. I understand what you said. So look, I'm gonna put you in Atlanta, and you got to do what you do. Don't pay attention to what they said. If they give you a problem, just hit me. I'm gonna tell them you got the green light. And we did over, I think we did over like 2 million cases I was responsible for, which is a lot. When we did on the debacle, they just was like, yo, how you did it? And I just was like, the same money that you give me to go into, say, Tal, the Mirage, I'm gonna take you, I'm gonna go to the strip club for $100 bottle and buy 5 of them for 500. You going in this one club, you get one for 500. How many people can sample that? How many people could get the feeling that you're looking for, the feel good feeling? I got 50 people feeling good. You got 5. And that's just what I just took that and went from city to city, from state to state.
Oh, so that's how you got to Atlanta through Puff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, Ciroc, so who started the Ciroc boys?
Well, I started Ciroc Boy South.
Right.
Puff started Ciroc. So when I went over there, first of all, the reason I stopped being with Puff every day is because I caught diabetes.
Okay.
So it was one of those things where the doctor was like, you can't keep moving and traveling the way you're moving. I was 260. He said, first of all, you gotta lose weight. Second of all, you can't wait, sleep, woo. So Puff was honest. He said, listen, you can go over there to Ciroc if you want to, but I cannot pay you what I'm paying you now. Because what I'm paying you now is for being with me. So he said, I gotta listen to what they tell me to pay you. So when I got over there, they was paying like way underneath. So I just sat there and I figured it out, and I seen how many people he was affecting. And I seen how many people was in what they call a B market and a C market, which is anything except Atlanta, LA, New York, Chicago. They call those B and C markets. So what I did was I said, I'm gonna start a Ciroc way south because I know they want to be a part.
Right.
But they don't have the glamour, the glitz, or the money to be down with Puff, which is Rick Ross, Meek Mills, and DJ Khaled at this time. So I said, but if I start this, can't nobody question who I am, because I've been next to you for the 15 years. So authenticity will be there. So now I just got to take the brand and do it. And once he gave me the green light, that was a no-brainer. You know, we from Harlem, like, we gonna fade out the way. And he asked me, he said, yo, what's that shit you doing in Atlanta, yo? Where you get that from? I said, man, you ain't give me no choice. You said you wasn't going to give me no money. So I had to figure out my hustle. So my hustle was going to be, I'm going to host parties. I went to Dubai before Puff was in Dubai. He just went for his first time last year. I done hosted 3 parties in Dubai. Just through Ciroc. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, how you do that? Like, yo, because it's a brand.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
So how that work? He give you like thousands of bottles to move?
Nah. See, let me tell you, see, that was one of the main things, because even when I started security, when I became the age of really thinking for myself, it was only 3 people in the rap game that could pay you each and every day. They could give you 401ks. You know, it's Puff, Jay, and 50 at that time. I mean, like, because it's a hell of a thing when you paying somebody every day.
Every day, yeah.
So they got to put you on a payroll. So everybody can't do that. Some dudes will get them when they go out.
Yeah, only when they go out. They use them once a week.
But this is a 24 hour. So that's what really made me sit down and say, okay, man, this nigga offering 401k, health insurance. So it's only 3 people that could do that. So that's what made me say, okay, I'm gonna run with Puff with this. Because this is what I'm setting up now. You know what I'm saying? I'm setting up for the long haul. So that was the reason that made me go to him. But the main reason that I also went to Ciroc was because of the diabetes and everything. So everything was playing into the same package. But it was like, okay, all this shit is happening for a reason. So my thing is to move, because you don't get that offer all the time. So you gotta move when that offer is there, because that offer might not be there 2 months from now.
So you said something interesting, because I feel the same way. I ain't gonna lie, if I was in that same situation, that was probably the first thing I would have thought, like, you know, because I see how he do. So that's the first thing that comes to my mind, be like, yo, I don't want to have to be put in a situation, and then we get you in, If it instead of you do that, I'd rather just not fuck with it.
I'd rather just not.
So
And I'm
like,
gonna be
I
honest
know
with
how I
you.
am.
I came in with Loon first. But I had to have that conversation with Loon because Loon was actually getting ready to leave Puff. And he was like, yo, you know old boy wants you to stay with him. So that's where what I said came into play about the health insurance and all that. Loon couldn't give me that. You know, Loon was like, okay, I'm getting 15,000 a show. I need security for this day. I got 300 for you, 400. So he said, yo, you know, old boy got it. I said,
There's money alone.
yeah, and that's why I dealt with that.
So,
But to get back to what you said, nah, so it's a regular job. So Puff will give you thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? You gotta actually sign for everything that you take. And the way Puff deal is structured is he owns 50%, and Diageo is the parent company that owns 50%. So they might give him $1 million and say, yo, here go $1 million that you can play with in bottles. And he take care of all the celebrity people with. Whenever he go out on a year, he uses that. But as far as me, I have a job and I just got a position.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So all this came from you squashing the situation with where you said this was at?
This is Madison Street.
The Madison Square Garden. So what makes you jump into that situation?
Opportunity. The opportunity was there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm from Harlem. I'm thinking of opportunities. At this time, I'm a goon. So I'm really looking for any type of opportunity situation. And I'm not standing next to Puff.
But you wasn't with Puff.
No,
Who
but
you
I'm
came
in there
with?
with
Who
him.
you
I'm
came
with
with?
my man Uncle Paulie and them, but that's Puff.
Yeah, that's Puff. Yeah, I know Paul. Yeah.
So at this time, it's like, okay, Puff don't speak to you. He don't say a word to you.
Yeah.
But he like, okay, I see him with Paulie all the time, so he must be cool. So when the situation happens, I'm gonna jump in as if I am because nigga, it's you.
But you came in to squash it with the way you handled it.
Now, what really happened was Jay and R. Kelly got into it. R. Kelly said, yo, I seen somebody flashing a gun at me in the audience. He dropped the mic. The lights went out in the whole fucking joint. The lights went out. So lights came back on, now we all standing together. So of course I'm looking at Puff and he like, yo, come on. So he said, come on. So I ran in the back with him. When we got in the back, Jay was like, yo, what am I gonna do? He said, Puff took off his chains and put it around Jay's neck. He said, yo, nigga, you live in New York. He said, now with Jay here, Ja Rule here, woo. He said, we gonna continue the show. He hit one dude, told his assistant, he said, yo, go to the bathroom and get all the dats on me and Jay-Z songs. Yo, I'm gonna be on stage with you. Mary J. Blige did the same thing. Ja Rule was there with R. Kelly, because him and R. Kelly had a big hit out. But he was so upset at what R. Kelly did, he told Jay, yo, I'm going with you. So R. Kelly tried to come back on the stage. He had this time he had 40 niggas with him.
40?
Yeah, he was rolling deep because he on the tour bus. They was doing that, the R. Kelly tour with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So,
I remember the
That's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So he was rolling with the whole tour bus. But they had joints and everything. So Tata took out the mace, and little Tata started spraying the mace. So they couldn't get up on the stage. So I caught the dude back. Boom, I grabbed Tata, I grabbed Puff going behind me. And then Puff said, yo, get out of here. So I got Tata out of here. So Jay was like, yo, Puff, who homeboy you was with? He said, yo, that's my man. You know, brother acting like he knew what he was doing. Yo, that's my man. He just came home. Yo, I want him to come to 4040. Yo, let me tell him thank you. Tata told me what he did. Yeah. And that just became one thing out of another. You know, that became the first time the Puff was like, yo, come on, we going to Jimmy Choo or Mr. Childs. Come on, you come in, man, come in. Yo, you ain't got to stay in the car. So that's when I said, you know what I'm saying, I took advantage of the situation. I could have stayed back there. I said, nah, I ain't gonna move. And I said, fuck this guy's like, this chick, no. And I'm doing what I'm doing for free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I'm going on 8th Avenue and smacking niggas and don't get shit. Well, I'm gonna try, I might get a little lumped up with these niggas, but at the end of the day, homie gonna be like, the homie held down, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened. And then B told me, and B from Rough Riders pulled me up, and he said, yo, Ron, he said, you can't be you. I said, what you mean? He said, you can't be you. But to this day, I tell B, and I always hit him and say, yo, thank you, because he said, yo, if you be a goon around these niggas, he said, you ain't gonna have no job. You know what I'm saying? And it was like 18 years later, when D hit me and he said, yo, you remember that shit I told you? He said, damn, you been doing this shit for like 8. I said, yeah. Because you could be whatever you want to anybody else, but you cannot flip and change. And that's what I tell a lot of dudes, like, no matter what you made of, if you doing something for somebody, okay, you know you could beat them, you know you could do this, that, you their security, you don't want them down. But you can never bite the hand that feed you. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You can never bite the hand that feed you. No matter what y'all go through, it's gonna be times when the person says yes, and it's gonna be times when the person says no. You really know how the person feels about you when they tell you no, when you tell them no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everything you've been holding up, or everything they've been holding in you, now they're gonna come out with it, just because you told them one thing.
That's
And
right.
just like that book, 48 Laws of Power. Never outshine the master.
Never outside.
Even though you know you can't, let them know.
Never.
Hold that back. But once you do that, they gonna feel intimidated. And then they ain't gonna want you around.
Exactly.
Cause I've been around that nigga a lot of years too.
Yeah.
Before your story, I was around him.
Right.
You know,
So
I'm
you
from the
know
birth.
exactly where I'm coming from.
Yeah, from the birth. Yeah.
Right.
What's my man name? I'm not trying to hear that. See, what's the man got to do with me? What's my man?
Positive K.
Yeah.
Positive K. Hey, you know, Pop always getting into some shit.
Right.
But he can't fight. Everybody.
Right.
He took boxing later, but he can't fight.
Right.
Positive K was lumping him up. Me and Ali snuck. Positive K throwing all up in the corner. Ah! Yo! Come with me. That's what he do. That's why I'm looking at you like your story is real like a motherfucker. But it was a Positive K before what you said. And I ain't gonna go into everything else, but when you like D told you, when you around them, you wanna let them niggas be who they be.
Right.
And even though we got a flair, hold it back and let them rap. Because if you do that, them niggas always gonna make sure you go hold them. And once you come a little extra one day, you just got to your shit, they be like, then they gonna,
I was
all
waiting
of a
for
sudden now
that.
they don't pick up the call no more.
Exactly.
The little shit.
Yeah, the little.
That's why I told you that he was 100% correct.
100%. 100%.
So one day we was at Palladium. Remember Palladium was rocking back in the day?
Yeah.
That's where Biggie Platinum party.
Okay.
The Biggie first went platinum. And Love, Aaliyah was alive. Everybody was there. It was crazy. And we all had to wear tuxedos.
Okay.
So, you know, Hall, Pierre, everybody.
Right.
Groovy Lou.
Right.
Jay Black was with him at the time.
Right.
Everybody. Then the bad boy. Lil Jay Black was his assistant. Anyway, make a long story short, everybody had to wear a black tuxedo. I couldn't find a black one. Everywhere I went, they didn't have a black tuxedo. So a nigga pulled out a cream joint. Oh shit, cream. You know how shit come around here and all that. So shit's hot. But I'm late. This is a true story, y'all, too. So I said, give me that. I needed some type of tuxedo.
Right.
I had a tuxedo on with the powder blue hanky with the powder blue gators on. Cute. Cream and powder
Too
blue.
fly.
Me, yeah, but I was, you know, man, that nigga seen that shit. Me like that shit. I'm buff.
Yeah.
I'm dressed better than everybody. But that wasn't my mindset. My mindset was to make them fit. Man, niggas taking pictures without me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, this shit. I was noticing like that. Niggas ain't calling me for the job. You know? Everybody is puffed, everybody riding with him. He got the money. I got my Harlem street money, but he puffed. He's the popular guy. Everybody running circles around. So we was at the bar and shit, and it was an open bar first. Then the open bar closed, so this was niggas, but you would never hear about Grey Goose, motherfucking Henny, none of that. Everything was bottles.
Right.
Like these niggas be buying bottles of Henny. Who does that?
Yeah, it's all
Was never that. It was
all
champagne or nothing.
Yeah.
You know that.
I never saw that shit till recent.
Till I came home, I ain't see
Yeah,
that.
that shit never
I ain't
was-
see that either. So anyway, you know, Cat. So anyway, we at the bar. Now, I done did it big. So niggas was using that word son too loosely. You know, son mean my doula. You know? So we at the bar, so nigga said, I'm getting 20 bottles. He said, yo, son, how many you get? So when he said son, he turned around and looked at me. So my shit went blue, like scrambling, like blue. I ain't been home that long. Son. I'm thinking, now they ain't taking no pictures with me. Right? I'm thinking all this shit. Now nigga calling me son in front of mad people. I mean, I ain't talking about regular people, I'm talking about stars. I just named all of them. Aaliyah, Heavy D, Ed Lover, all these motherfuckers. I said, son, what the fuck you call a son, man? Now I don't want y'all went into my V shit. You know, I'm broccoli this time. You know, I'm light right now compared to how I was. That nigga was scared. Nigga, I went to go at that nigga, nah, V, chill. To that day, man, he been real shaky ground with me since that day, man. And I ain't mean it, but I ain't like he calling me son around people, man. You know, son ain't losing that truth. That's the son that really got in the height of it. And dudes in jail know when you call a nigga son, you meant the nigga was my son. He would call me son, and that nigga, I said, yo, I flipped on that nigga. You know, he knows the truth. He be watching, he know that's the truth. And, you know, it's been a little loose, but that's what I'm just going back to what D told you was true. When you get around them dudes, you got to look for your window of opportunity. Because I use the bad boy in there. I go to hotels, flights, whatever. Bad boy, let me in, no problem. I get off the plane to LA, you know, LAX. Nigga got my whole motherfucker. I got a long last name. Nigga got a limo with me, my whole last name on it. Because I said bad boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was in.
Yeah.
I was in.
He was in.
So, you know, he right there.
Yeah. Nah,
Right. That's how it is, man.
You could be everybody else's problem, but you can't never be our problem.
Right, exactly. You gotta let them live, man. You can't be you all the way live.
And really, man, really, I listened to your suit story and I said, yo, that was nothing more than because the way you shine with a different color.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Yeah.
And you see that little shit, man, like little shit that don't bother us, man.
Yeah, she was petty.
They bother.
I didn't even mean it
bother.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
You know
I couldn't find no black one.
That just like
you know what I'm
shining,
He took
The
that
master.
shit hard.
Yeah, no, that's
saying?
just what he said. That's like the 48 moves of power.
Yeah.
You know, he
Yeah,
outshined the master.
Outshined the master.
You know what I'm saying? You had that baby.
But some dudes do it intentionally. I did it because that's all they had. I never wanted the cream. I wanted to get the black joint.
Yeah.
My man pulled that thing. I said, oh shit. I knew it was gonna be a problem. I didn't know that he was gonna take it. Nobody else took it like that. He the only one took it like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Everybody else was your feet fly, nigga.
Yeah.
The only one.
The only one that mattered.
Yeah.
You wouldn't gave a fuck if anybody else, because they wouldn't even say nothing.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
gonna follow everything.
Everything he say, yeah. No, they take pictures. I ain't get one picture. I can't even share a picture with the job. The cameraman's everywhere but with me, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, but that's how you know.
And I know it's true.
Yeah, man.
So, I see the shirt you got on. Can you get into that?
This is my son Kevin. This is what
Speak
I've
up.
been on. This is what I've been on. This has been my mission for like the last, I would say 4 to 5 years. I've been going hard. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't even know about this because of who I was around, what I was doing. It was more or less the brand. You know what I'm saying? The corporate world. It was more or less like even with me being incarcerated, those are things that only just certain people talk about.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when you've been down as long as I've been down, it's like, okay, I'm the only one that need to know about this. We don't need to talk about this around corporate. So even being entangled with my son, even though it wasn't me, is too much for that corporate world.
Mhm.
So I kept it hidden for a long time. But it was like when you keep things hidden, you can't get an engine moving because don't nobody know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it became so long, like, hold up, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So then it came to a point where I started feeling like I wasn't the father.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm around powerful people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I'm
realizing
not able to speak to them about, nah. I said, something gotta change. So I just, I started going hard. And when I went hard, corporate came at me. You know what I'm saying? So rather than letting corporate make their decision really about me, I decided to walk away and just say, yo, I'm gonna take care of my son's situation 100% because it's going on, now it's going on 11 years. So this time it was going on 6 years with no trial, no nothing. But I'm still now, like with the lawyer, I'm still listening to everything they gotta say. Okay, maybe I'm thinking too fast. It is another country, maybe they're 7 years ago, then 8 years ago, then 9 years ago. Then it's like, okay, you're not really listening to what's going on. You just keep listening to what a lawyer is telling you. You know what I'm saying? And with it being another country, you really not listening to it as if you go see your kid on Rikers Island.
Yeah.
Or if you go see him upstate, and you could go see a lawyer whenever you want. So it got to like 9 years, and like my son just was like, yo, Dad, I didn't do this. And like he really, like, it was really like a 9th year around Christmas time where he really drilled it in my head, and I said, I gotta go up there. I had just came from up there about 8 months, right? But this trip is a $5,000 trip altogether whenever you go. When you talk about hotel, food, flight, or what. So I was going down like.
You tell people
once a year.
they probably ain't, they no lost what's going on. The viewers,
Oh,
like where you went.
Oh, I went to, well, he's locked up in Namibia, Africa, and it's a murder charge. Right? He's charged with murdering a person called Andre Heckelmeyer, which is a Caucasian guy from South Africa.
How long
So-
ago was this?
He said
This
11 years
was
ago.
2011, January 7th, 2011.
I never heard about this.
You know what I'm saying? I got the phone call in Paris. He was locked up first for a marijuana charge. So when they called me, I was in Paris with Buff. So Buff was like, yo, you're halfway there now. I said, I'm gonna go the other half. So when I got there and I landed and I went to pay, it was only $300. It was marijuana, cannabis, $300. When I went to pay the $300, they took the passport and said, no, he's locked up for murder now. Murder? What are you talking about? Like, oh yeah, he's been locked up for murdering Andre Heckelmeyer. So first thing I do is stay there. You know, I get the lawyer, boom, boom, going. I get him down to visit. He said, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, I was in my room smoking weed. I said, yeah, evident. I said, but yo, what's this murder charge? Ooh. He said, I'm down here with this guy, but the guy wasn't on the visit. He said, I'm here with this guy. Maybe he knows something. But Dad, they just snatched us up. They separated us. Boom, boom, I don't know what's going on. So now I'm running around that whole week trying to find out what's going on. I comes back. About 3 weeks later, I turn around and I go right back. So when I'm down there this time, I'm trying to find out now what's really going on with him. And at the same time, I'm getting to talk to his co-defendant now. Because now they slipped up and they say, okay, he's from out the country. I can visit them both. So this dude swears to me he don't know nothing. And then this dude is my son. So I'm like, yo, you sure? And his dude is saying, I'm like, yo, you ain't just come get y'all for nothing. Like, what's going on? So at this point in time, I'm really thinking my son lying. Like, okay, he done got himself in some shit, but he lying. But as time went on, and he kept saying, Dad, I don't know what the hell they took me. Dad, I'm down here trying to get my swerve on, yo. And I meet this girl, and she like, yeah, I met him beside yo, me and him was together. He said she was with me the whole morning. I'm like, yo, this is not you. Until it wasn't until about maybe 2 years ago when we were sitting on trial and the people started talking. Everybody that got on the trial said, yo, we don't know him from a hole in the wall. And it wasn't to them when I really looked at my son's eyes and he looked at me and said, Dad, can we out of here? He said, I ain't have nothing to do with this shit. So I was really on a mission. So like to bring people up on speed, I had to walk away from Ciroc. And then now my mission was just, yo, I gotta bring some type of knowledge to this case because now we're going on 10 years. We're going on 10 years of America being locked up in Namibia. The embassy not knowing really what's going on. I went over to the embassy. They said, oh yeah, he's cool, he's fine, Mr. Ron, he's all right. I said, yeah. I said, that ain't what he told me. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm coming here out of respect because everybody tell me when you first get to a foreign country, go to the embassy first. So I go to the embassy. They said, oh yeah, he was in solitary confinement for 90 days. He's okay now though. He got his own clothes and everything over there. So I go over there and I said, yo, how long he was locked up in solitary? He said, I was there for 19 months. The lawyer comes in and says, yo, yeah, the lawyer comes in and says, yo, I'm the one that got him out. He was in there for 19 months. I said, yo, the embassy just told me 3 months. So ever since then, I ain't even dealt with the embassy because that's their way of telling me we really don't care. The embassy told me, they said, yo, we don't know what he was up to, but he was up to something. So if you're gonna tell me that on our first conversation, then I already know right there that you're not on his side. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you, you looking at me, but you already telling me how you feel about my young black son. Okay, first they was more worried about what he was doing in Namibia, and I was like, he got money, his father got money. Like, if he wants to go away, he can go away. Like, let's talk about the case. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have no gun, y'all don't have no DNA, y'all don't have no eyewitnesses, y'all don't have no fingerprints. What do y'all have on my son? And it's like, we have a coincidence. Since when can you lock somebody up for 11 years for a coincidence?
That's just crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Or even, I even take it a step further to the point where my son has been offered time to come home. You know what I'm saying? But we sitting on here, right here, I'm not laughing and joking with you told me that when I get outside the door, it's gonna be something different. So my son is saying, yo, y'all took me this far, let's go to trial, because y'all not gonna find him guilty because of what I tell y'all. Y'all gonna find him guilty for the evidence, or y'all gonna let us go, or y'all gonna let me go, or whatever, because all the sacrificial evidence that they do have, which is people knowing people, all really relates to the man that my son is with. You can't get mad at my son for saying that he don't know if this man did something or not, and now you done took 11 years out of his life. Come on, you can play a year or two.
That's crazy, yeah. Because it's crazy, because I knew your son since he was a baby.
Right.
I knew him, good dude, always played ball, respectful. And like you said, I didn't know about it until a few years ago. Cause like you said, I guess y'all kept it quiet. I saw it on, I think Facebook or something. And I'm like, I didn't even know he was locked up.
No, his nickname was Schoolboy.
Schoolboy, they call him Schoolboy. Yeah, they call him Schoolboy. Yeah, they call him Schoolboy.
The kid went through high school with all
Yeah,
A's.
they call him Schoolboy. Good dude. And when I seen it, so basically y'all was giving people witness what's going on, right? You and his mom, right?
Right.
And so what y'all, so how far y'all is like far as like getting close to what y'all need to do right now?
I done got very close, because like I said, he's really starting trial July 15th and 11th. And that was something that they've been trying to put off for the longest. But through certain phone calls, through social media, through people, I got some people on my line that when I go to their page and check, I can see that they done hit the embassy in Libya every single day. You know, what's going on with Kevin Towns? This is after 11 years. Like July 5th to 9th of these. But see, now what they do is now they'll start trial. But then they might not give you another date for 3 months, 4 months. They've been started trial since 2014.
So you gotta fly back and forth.
Nah, I haven't been to every trial. I try to pick and choose.
Oh, so he had y'all already.
Right, he'll start,
that's crazy.
and then they might not give you another date for 6 months. Start, they might not give you another date for 3 months. Whereas over here in America, when we start trial, we go straight
too.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my complaints, is that a person can't spend $5,000 every time because you want to go to trial for 4 days and then stop. So with the help of the people, with the help of social media, with the help of y'all, you know what I'm saying? We've been pushing, so now when we go July 5th to the 9th, we going every week in July. You know what I'm saying? So the state's supposed to rest their case the second week in August. And then the defense will take, which is only a week. And then we have it. Right now, he's 34. He was 22 when he went in. And he, this kid had a scholarship to college, playing ball, everything, right? The kid, and I blame myself for a lot of this stuff, because as a father, I was supposed to see, just like he said, he went to school, he did this, that, and other, but it's little things, like I said, the 2 gun charges, that I should have seen as a father, and we should have had that talk right there. What's going on? He just blew a scholarship to this college, boom, football. They offer him a scholarship here. He hit me with the, yo, I'm not going to LIU. He said, yo, that's a B school or whatever it is. Boom. Me speeding so much, running around with pup. Another father who really home would have said, hold up, what you mean you're not going to LIU? All right, even if you don't get to play pro ball, let's go for the education. It's free.
It's free, yeah.
But I'm moving so fast, my thing is, when is my next flight? What city am I going to? What country? that I didn't stop to see the diversity. Like, oh, I'm really going, because now I'm hearing the stories, and the stories is like, oh yeah, your son was, he was making noise out here, he was doing this, he was doing that, but I never seen it, because if I would have seen it, even when he told me he was going to Africa, because he told me, he said, I'm going to Africa, they want to do some modeling, they want to take some pictures. I would have said to myself, are you sure you want to go to Africa? Because we would have had a different conversation. But being that I was Sweden, I never did. Even if you tell me now, okay, yo, this ain't my situation, but I could have stopped you from even being in this situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we could be known for doing something, and just because we known for doing something, they'll come and get us just for that. You know what I'm saying? And because we become a product of our environment, it's no longer us being innocent until found guilty. It's us being guilty, and now we